My husband got his AP pregnant. My life has been a complete mess now and it all feels so fake and like I'm living in a TV drama or something. My husband, 38, had an affair and got his AP pregnant, and that's when my husband told me. I didn't really ask much, I just learned that her name was Giselle and that they've been seeing each other for about 3 years. He said it was just sex. I check my husband's phone often. So, the only way he was being able to contact her was through another device. My husband takes a long time showering. So, I took the opportunity to look through his office. I found a burner phone in his desk drawer. This is where I got to see what she looks like. Her contact name wasn't her name, it was Darling. He still didn't change it. She looked like she was in her early mid-20s. She is very gorgeous and she has an amazing figure. I started comparing myself to her when I was in my 20s and now. I didn't have an hourglass figure and still don't. I also kind of let myself go after I had my kids. I found her nudes through his text messages. I did read through them, and as much as it hurt, I wanted to know more about their affair as I wasn't going to get exact answers from my husband. I found pictures of both of them when they would go out on dates. I even watched their sex tapes. She looked like a pro. My husband would compliment and praise her a lot in the videos. They were obviously very turned on with the fact that he was married. I found videos of them having sex with others too. They were often with girls who looked around their early 20s. He did things to her and texted her things that he would never text me. They were obviously more than just physical, and there was an emotional affair going on. He would vent to her a lot through text message, and I saw that they often called each other. They even shared memes with each other, and it seemed that they both had the same sense of humor. He was buying her gifts and sending her flowers. I saw that he would also send updates on my daughter and pictures of all 3 of them hanging out. I hate camping and always avoided it. I don't like sleeping on the ground, the bugs, and going fishing. I never tag along when my husband would plan. He stopped asking me to go about a few years back. My eldest daughter is the only who tags along. I found pictures of her taking selfies with both of them in the car or with her and just my daughter. I sent myself a picture and later asked my daughter about her. She freaked out and didn't say anything. I asked her who the lady was and she said she didn't know. I kept pestering her to tell me, and she then told me that it was Dad's girlfriend. She ended up confessing that she would tag along with them. All my children are enrolled in activities and they often overlap when it comes to competitions. My husband and I switch with each other on who goes where. She said that AP would come see her at her dance recitals when I wasn't there. She also said that they would lie, and sometimes my husband would take her to her house and they would practice together. Apparently, she used to do gymnastics and ballet. They would have sleepovers and go to the spa and go shopping together. I did ask her if she knew if she was pregnant, and my daughter said she knew. My husband had taken her out of school and took her along, so they could see the gender of the baby. I told her that she wasn't allowed to talk to her anymore and she got upset. I took her phone away and I did go through it. My daughter and her often texted each other. I saw that she was telling her about how excited she was about her baby sister and that she was glad that AP was in her life. I did find her Instagram through my daughter's phone. She had pictures of my husband and her on there. She also posted videos of my daughter and her doing dances. I saw that she graduated from an Ivy League and my husband was there to congratulate her. I still don't know how they met though. When she was posting pictures of her pregnancy. She was posting pictures with my husband too. She was telling everyone that it's my husband's. She also sends him updates and my husband excitedly replies. She also looks very gorgeous pregnant and he often tells her. Story 2. Husband of 7 years admitted one-night stand while away for Thanksgiving. My husband, 39, and I, 35, have been married for 5 years and dated 2 years prior. We have never had trust issues or infidelity. We have had a great marriage, the kind of relationship, we were really great friends. We have so much in common, we can sit and talk for hours, I was his best friend, and we even hung out during guys' night, watching football, with his friends. We had a great relationship. The cheating happened when he went home to New York for Thanksgiving, 3 days early. I arrived the day before Thanksgiving. This woman was visiting with his younger sister, they are in grad school together and they are really close friends. This woman couldn't make it home to California, so my in-laws hosted her too. Turns out they all went out for drinks, my sister-in-law left my husband and this woman alone at a friend's gathering, they're all drinking, having a good time. My husband told me they were alone talking all night. Then when they returned home to his parents, they drank more, they were up until 2 a.m. and they ended up having sex. My husband didn't make excuses saying it was the beer. He said he was definitely wrong. He admitted he was flattered that she was flirting with him. He admitted she was extremely attractive. He even left her alone to go to bed when he felt himself feeling attracted to her. She came to him, and they were in his bedroom. They drank and talked more on the balcony and they ended up kissing and well. They had sex. He told her he was going to tell me, he told his sister the next morning and his sister told her she needed to leave. So when I arrived, my husband was acting really off. He was feeling guilty as hell. Trying to hold his shit together and not ruin his family's Thanksgiving. Thanksgiving night, I asked him what the hell was going on with him. He was all over me sexually, he wanted lots of sex, and he was very aggressive during sex. I told him I needed a break, he wouldn't stop. He finished inside me. Which he doesn't do, I don't want to get pregnant. I thought this was so out of character for my husband. I asked him, what the hell is going on with him? He started crying, he started apologizing. I thought it had to do with money. Never in a million years did I think he cheated on me. He confessed everything. I listened to my husband, I let him speak. I was upset, I felt sick and I cried. But I didn't get angry. I wasn't disrespectful in my in-laws' home. I had my sister-in-law drive me into the city and I stayed at my friend's apartment while they were away. My sister-in-law told me about this woman, she apologized profusely. I saw a photo of the woman. She is 27, she is absolutely beautiful. Not saying it makes anything okay, but, wow. She is the kind of woman men would absolutely fight over. I told my husband he needed to leave when he returned home. He moved out that Sunday night. He has been driving me crazy, begging me to forgive him. He has been showing up at my work. He shows up at the house, I cannot make him leave, because he owns the home too. I told him I think I may consider a divorce, I can't forgive this. I always felt I could work it out if our marriage went through something like this. But I can't. My parents divorced over infidelity. My dad was a serial cheater. My husband has taken steps to fix himself. He is getting help. He is just going crazy because I have just been numb and in shock, and I think it comes off as, I don't care. I do care, I do love him. But I cannot be in a mediocre marriage. I don't want our daughter, 3, to see her mom accept being cheated on. I am overwhelmed. I am overthinking everything. I don't want to make the wrong decision. I have been told I should keep our family together. He came clean, and he's a good man. It happens once. I know that is a good point. But I feel off. Is it shock? Or did I lose respect and fall out of love? I don't know. Has anyone else felt this gray cloud after? Will it pass, and should I just wait a while longer before I make a choice that will turn my life and my daughter's life upside down? Story 3. I lost everything cheating. It's not worth it. I made the biggest mistake last year. I cheated on my wife of 7 years. It wasn't a lengthy affair. It was a weekend fling. A woman I work with, we were at a conference in California. I admit, this woman is beautiful. I definitely lusted after her. She and I would chat at work. There was an obvious attraction, but never did I think to act on it. My wife and I had a strong marriage. I didn't feel neglected. We had a great sex life. I was, still am, very much in love with her. So when I read there are signs. Not always. I was weak. I was attracted to this woman because physically, she was my type. The affair happened after a night of having dinner and drinks at the hotel. I honestly didn't have the plan to cheat. I walk her back to her room. We stood outside in the hall, talking for 30 minutes or longer. We ended up kissing. We ended up in her bed. We had sex twice that night. I take responsibility. I was wrong. I'm married. She was single. I hate myself because I blew up my ex-wife's life. After the weekend, I was full of guilt. I didn't tell my wife because I was so afraid of losing her. The woman I cheated with wanted to continue this affair. I refused, and she called my wife. She went vile. She tried to ruin my career. I was suspended from the company because I had an inappropriate relationship with a worker under me. My wife undoubtedly was blindsided and devastated. My actions caused her harm. She ended up moving back to our home state to be near family and friends. She and I relocated because for 4 years she had a stalker. She was harassed, followed, and terrorized by this man. Once she returned, the stalking began again. It gradually escalated. I didn't know of this. Her family didn't know either. She says she felt ashamed, and she felt her moving back was a burden on the family enough. So she said nothing. She was beaten and raped by this man. I take all responsibility because if I were a good husband, my wife would not have been back in our hometown, working an overnight shift, to save money for an apartment when she had a home. She would have never encountered this man. If I were faithful. I had not been so disgusting. So weak. It was several months after the attack, I found out. I found out after receiving the divorce papers. I also found out that this mother got her pregnant. My wife refused to see me, refused to speak to me. We have a now 4-year-old son, but during all of this, she had a mediator who sat with me when I saw my child. I sent money to an account for our son. I had 0 interactions with my wife. I missed her. I never had a chance to tell her I love her. I was sorry. I was sorry for destroying our family. She now has a baby girl. By her rapist. She told my sister that she considered abortion, but couldn't go through with it. That traumatized her, and she's been in counseling. She has not spoken to me still. She recently moved back to Miami. I am close to my son. I thank God for this. She has a better job now. I support my son, and I want to send her money, but I don't think she would ever accept it. She's a single mom, she works really hard. Her life is not how she planned because I was a weak man, a man that was disgusting and selfish. I'm drinking more than I should, and I am afraid to fall in love. I may be afraid because I believe in karma, or maybe because I am still absolutely in love with my ex. I miss my family. I miss her. I loved being married. I feel riddled with guilt because she was raped and violated. I was always her protector. I miss my old life. I saw a photo of her with our son and the baby girl. Thanksgiving dinner. My brother and sister and parents swear on everything, this baby is my daughter. The girl looks like me. I have been struggling with this possibility. It has me up at night. Trying to do math in my head, from the last time I made love to my wife, maybe I am the father. But that means this man raped her while she was pregnant with my baby girl. This is all destroying me. I cannot ever ask her. I have no right. I doubt she would even be in the same room as me, much less talk about a baby that was conceived through rape. I feel I am rambling. I do apologize. I just needed to vent. I needed to share my experience. Cheating ruins lives, it causes a domino effect of pain. My lusting after a blonde, who looked like a poster girl from my teens, caused me to be weak and literally kill my life. My ex-wife could have been killed, she was violated. She has a child, who was conceived in a terrible way, and who is to say, in the future when this child grows up and learns of how she came to be, it may cause her to spiral. All because I was unfaithful. If you're cheating, you need to consider the long-term repercussions. You hurt so many people when it comes to light. It will come to light. I promise. It will. It is not worth it. If you're unhappy in your marriage, leave. If you are getting cheated on, weigh your options. Do not allow someone's disgusting behavior to destroy you. Leave. If you can't leave, if you have kids, get help. Talk to someone. This has to be looked at as being as traumatic as a death. It is. I feel I killed the life my ex, my son had. I take responsibility and ownership for what I have done. I know if I ever meet someone and fall someone again, I will be a better man. Another part of me feels I don't deserve to have love. I have hurt so many, and I have destroyed so much. I just hope maybe my experience can be a lesson for others.